Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, as you can see by the title, this video is kind of about self-worth, self-confidence, and kind of want to talk a little bit about that and also share my testimony story with you guys, and the struggles I still face and what I try doing, and share this with someone. I feel someone out there needs to hear this, and yeah, so I'm ready to share it with you guys. And I'm going to read you guys the definition of self-confidence, which is a feeling of trust in one's ability, qualities, and judgment. Simple words, right? But so hard for some of us to actually go by. So hard to have trust in yourself, in what you're capable of doing. No one can say that 100% of the time in their whole life they have been confident. At one point or another, you have been lacking self-confidence. So my story goes a little like this. No, let's just say growing up I didn't feel like the prettiest girl. I suffered with a lot of low self-esteem, and for me I was like this child that my hair was like parted in the middle, and I would always wear my hair up. And at the time, I struggled with having acne, and I was blind, so I wore glasses. Oh, and not just that, I was a stick. Like, I was super skinny.
Clothes, boys, what to wear, everything. So
I really struggled with that because at school, that's where the bullying came in. So being bullied, and for me, I also battled with social anxiety, and I was super shy. I was that introverted girl in the corner where I was like, no one talked to me. And with my insecurities of how I looked, I battled with that because I would hear words from others, and those words would scar me. I think it's just words that you say to someone. Words, they play a huge role. Like, and I didn't even know how big of a role it would play in my life, because this started in like second grade, I guess, but this went on throughout. Oh my god. I'm looking out the window and there's this huge bee, and I thought it was inside the house for a minute. I was just about to freak out. So what I was trying to say before was like the bullying started in second grade, but not that it kept on going, but the words of what kids would say, or sometimes it's not even just kids. Like, sometimes it could be your friends or even your family. Like, I used to have family members that they'll be like, oh, you're super skinny, like, you need to go eat more, you look like a stick, you look like you're dying. People that are supposed to be there supporting you and lifting you up, and they're telling you negative words, and it's like people you love. And I feel like that's what hurts the most too, that it's someone that you care about and that you love. So with that, I guess that was also like going into my spirit and stuff. And then I would look in the mirror, and it was like all those words and stuff, that's what I would see. I wouldn't see myself the way that God sees me. I would see myself the way that people were telling me that I looked, which I shouldn't have done, because that impacted my life in a way that I shouldn't have let it get that far. Like, it got to the point where I didn't want to go to school. I started suffering from this depression where I couldn't get up out of bed. I didn't feel I was worthy enough to keep going. Like, I didn't feel pretty enough to be living. I didn't, and it wasn't just, I guess this part could be for another video, because what played into my depression wasn't just the way I looked. There was more things that was added onto that, but this was like a part of it too. And and then you start to feel this loneliness where you feel like there's no one that's gonna understand you, and there's no one that you can really talk to, because you feel like they won't fully understand what you're going through. Because if I told someone, oh, okay, like, I didn't feel pretty enough because I was super skinny and people just kept telling me I was skinny, they would have been like, or I would have thought that they would have been like, oh, wow, like, just because of that you feel like super insecure and stuff. Like, that was like my thought process. So I would just keep it to myself and be like, okay, no, I'm just, tell me whatever you want to tell me, and I would just take it, and I would just keep it to myself. And I didn't speak out about it or tell anyone. Like, I didn't feel comfortable enough to tell anyone. That's something that has to change. That if you do feel like insecure, or like you feel like no one's gonna understand, even you should just try to reach out to someone, even if it's a stranger or a close friend. Like, the other day I had this like random girl on Instagram DM me, and she's like, hey, like, let's just be friends. I've been looking through your feed, I really love it, like, you're pretty, like, I want to be friends. And recently I've gone through a tough time where I recently lost my grandfather, and she was there, and this random stranger that I don't even know, she just came out of nowhere, and she's telling me uplifting words, and bringing my spirit up. Reach out to someone. Like, don't just keep it inside, because the more you keep it inside, it's really gonna explode. Like, I know people say this a lot, and I didn't think it either. I thought, okay, like, I'm gonna just like keep it to myself. Like, I don't need to tell anyone. Like, I don't need to tell people how I'm feeling. But sometimes you do. Sometimes you need advice from a certain person that can give you these uplifting words and can help you go through whatever situation you're going through. Now, by the time I got to, I think, 7th grade, I was getting better with how I looked. By that time, I was able to straighten my hair, fix it the way I wanted to. So I thought I was getting better with my insecurities and feeling more pretty and all this stuff. So then I kind of rushed to get into a relationship. And with this relationship, since I was still battling with self-love for myself, I thought the words he was telling me and what he was showing me, that love, I thought was filling me from what I really needed to have from myself first, and then get that from a relationship. But I was doing the opposite. I was depending on him to tell me those words of, wow, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. I was depending on that. And that carried out like all through high school. So I was still kind of feeling insecure at times, but then at the same time it was like, no, but I have this person telling me like I look great today. I would wake up, oh, like, hey, good morning, beautiful. Like, so I was thinking like, okay, like, at least I have him. But I still didn't have the self-love that I needed to have. See, so like, as girls, sometimes I think we do that. We think that our self-worth is coming from a certain guy or relationship, and that shouldn't be the case at all. Because it is true, like, first you need to love yourself in order to be able to love someone else. Because if you don't have that self-love and stuff, what's going to happen if that person leaves? And you see, I didn't really think about that. I was like, no, like, I'm going to marry this guy. I'm going to be with him forever. And that was not the case at all. So when we broke up, that was like in the beginning of my senior year. And when I, when those words were gone and I wasn't getting like, oh wow, you're beautiful every single day, then I went back to like, oh wow, like now I'm feeling ugly again. But then that's when I prayed about it. And I was like, God, like, help me see myself the way that you see me. Help me discover my true beauty, my uniqueness that you gave to me. Help me see those. Once I prayed about it, and I came along this Bible verse, which is in Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10, and it says, He calls me beautiful one. And once I saw that, I continued to pray about it, and I just felt God saying, find this Bible verse as a picture and put it on your lock screen. So when you wake up, instead of waiting for that good morning text, like, hey, good morning, beautiful, or whatever, you'll wake up and you'll see, He calls me beautiful one. And that's exactly what I did. And I had that as my screen cover for, I think, like a whole year and a half. And instead of waiting for a text from someone and being disappointed when it wasn't there, and then each morning it would be like, He calls me beautiful one. Like, wow. So God, you're calling me beautiful. You're not looking at me the way that I see myself. With that, I would also look into a mirror and I would tell myself, like, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are special, you are unique. Like, I would just feed myself words that I needed to hear. Instead of waiting for someone to tell me those words, I was telling myself those words. And it is true, like, the more you say something to yourself, the more you really start to believe it. And that was exactly what I was doing. So, like, now when I walked into a room, I didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm like the most skinniest, ugliest girl in here. I would feel like, no, I'm loved by God. I'm a daughter of God. Like, I'm walking in here and I feel special. I feel what I need to see myself as. Another thing that really helped me was this picture quote that I came along. I'm gonna see if I could find it to put in the video, but it goes something like God created you, and imagine how He feels when you look in the mirror and you look at yourself like something ugly. Then you're kind of offending Him because it's something He created. And I was like, wow, like, by me calling myself names and feeling not worthy and stuff, imagine how I'm making Him feel. And that really like made me upset, because I was like, I don't want to upset God. I don't, I want Him to feel like I love myself to the fullest because He made me. I'm not saying that some days I have my low days just like everyone else does. Some days I'll wake up and I'll feel, not worthy enough, not pretty enough, not all these negative things. But then, I'll just pray and I'll find the peace I need from God with my prayers, and just knowing that He made me to be the person that I am. It doesn't matter what anyone says about me, what people talked about me, what people did to me, it doesn't matter any of that. What matters is that at the end of the day, I know he loves me more than anyone else on this planet will ever love me. And that's what's helped me give me my confidence that I need, because I'm not getting it from the world, I'm getting it from him. So it's just this union that I learned to have with him. Like, on those days that I feel low, I'm like, okay, God, like, remind me how loved I am, how worthy I am, how you made me, how you created me to be this way, how you have a purpose for me. And that's what I constantly do. So I know this video is getting a little long, so I'm gonna stop it here. But I just felt in my heart that I needed to share this message with someone. I felt like someone needed to hear it. And I really hope that this helps someone out. Just know that, no matter how you look or how people say, you are beautiful. You need to believe that about yourself. You can't, like, no one is gonna love you the way you love yourself. And that's what I learned along the way. No one in this whole, not your boyfriend, not your mom, not your friends, no one. The only person that could love you to the fullest is yourself, and that is it. And also your communion with God. He made you the way you are, and he wants you to know that you are special, that you are worthy. But you need to believe that yourself. And, well, if you guys, because I know at times when I felt like that, I needed someone to talk to, and I felt that I didn't really have anyone. If you guys need someone to talk to, I am the least person to judge someone. Like, I will help you out in the best way I can. I am really not judgmental, because I know what it's like to go through these emotions and feel lonely, like you have no one to talk to. So if you guys need someone, I am here. You could DM me on Instagram, Snapchat me, comment below. I'm here for you guys. So, well, I'm sorry this is so long, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did and it helped you, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, I really hope you do that, because I love being able to help you guys out in the best way I can. And, well, I hope you guys are having an amazing summer so far, and look out for my next video. Love you guys.